It's really changed.
Because I'm the chief of police here.
Are members of the Eli Whitney Trades.
I had an honest mob in my back.
For YTV.
For YTV.
For YTV. For YTV.
This is your Yale Week. Welcome to your Yale Week, letting you know what's happened and what's going to happen at Yale and in New Haven. I'm Peter Chung, and here are your top stories. On Thursday, the Graduate Employees and Students Organization, or GESO, held a rally marching from Warner House to Beinecke Plaza, calling on the university to allow graduate students to unionize. Over 500 people attended the rally, which featured Mayor Tony Harp and U.S. Senator Chris Murphy as speakers. The protest included about 150 GESO representatives and hundreds of undergraduates and other supporters. On October 8th and 13th, New Haven saw its 12th and 13th homicides. Despite the recent shootings, this year's current homicide rate is a far cry from the 34 homicides seen in the Elm City in 2011, and far better than statistics seen in the state capitol. The shootings have brought many city and state officials together and to the podium to discuss ways of preventing homicides and violence in New Haven. And finally, our top story is the mayoral debate on Monday. Tonight we're joined by Noah DePonte Smith, who is the City Hall and Politics beat reporter here at the Yale Daily News. Noah, what was it like being there?
It was pretty fun. I mean, it was a very small room in a television studio. I was in the back the whole time, and it was very crowded. But I enjoyed covering it. There was a good dynamic in the air, and people were really excited to be there.
And who were our three candidates at this past mayoral debate?
The most prominent candidate sitting to the left of the stage was Mayor Tony Harp. She was elected in November 2013, and she's been mayor for the past 2 years. Before that, she was a state senator from the western part of New Haven, and before that, she was an alder. She's been involved in New Haven politics for 4 decades or so. One of the other candidates was Ron Smith. He is a perennial of New Haven politics. He was the city clerk for 10 years before 2013, and an alder for about 10 years before that. And then the third candidate was Sunday Zulu, who is a plumber from New Hallville. He has an interesting backstory. He ran for mayor in 2013 before dropping out in August and endorsing Mayor Harp. He served 10 years in prison for cocaine convictions, but since then he's really turned his life around and gotten into politics and become sort of a member of the community. His way of approaching politics and of speaking in 2013 really attracted some people to his campaign. He has a very down-to-earth, grassroots way of doing things. And
out of the three candidates, who do you think won this debate?
I think Ron Smith came out strongest. Tony Harp has been known to have problems with debates. She's not the greatest of public speakers. In 2013, she sort of shied away from having debates. But I think Ron Smith was really great. He had a good rapport going with the moderator of the debate, New Haven Independent editor Paul Bass. He seemed friendly and approachable, but also aggressive when he needed to be. He had a good moment when he said that the administration's handling of the crisis in Church Street South is absolutely ridiculous. He really called out Harp for not having done anything about the problem in the past, and said that if he were mayor, this sort of thing would have never happened. So he had a good moment there. And when I talked to attendees after the event, they said that Ron Smith had come off as the most charismatic. But that all candidates had a good performance, though.
And taking that into account, who do you think is going to be the next mayor of New Haven?
For me, there's not that much doubt in my mind that Tony Harp is going to be mayor come January. We only have 2 years between elections here in New Haven, which sort of makes incumbency a very powerful factor. And Tony Harp's had a great 2 years. Crime has come down. She's balanced the budget twice in a row, which is something that very few other mayors have done. We've had a lot more economic development downtown in the past 2 years. So I think she really has the upper hand in this election.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Noah. Noah's full story was released this past Tuesday, so be sure to check it out if this really interests you. And now for a quick look at what's going to happen next week at Yale, Amanda Aguilera.
Thanks, Peter. Your weather for this week is going to be in the 50s and 60s. It'll be mostly sunny, but watch out for a few showers today and next Thursday and Friday. In Bulldog sports, volleyball will be playing Penn Friday night at 7 p.m. and Princeton Saturday evening at 5 p.m. at Payne Whitney. In football, we'll be playing the Black Bears at the University of Maine, marking the highest latitude football game Yale has ever played. As for culture, among many options, the No Pop Art installation is set to open on Saturday at 130 Park Street. Set up by professional artists, the installation challenges notions of everyday spatial perceptions. Be sure to check it out. And make sure you've picked up your copy of Weekend. The feature story is on the fascinating intersection of LGBT and Greek life. That's your Yale Week. I'm Amanda. Have a great weekend.
As a department that is committed to community-based policing, we are always looking for different ways to engage our community. When we began the Citizens Police Academy 9 years ago now, that was our vision.
Last Tuesday night, the Yale University